All right, as far as upcoming games are concerned, basically this is one that's been at least 6+ years in the making. For those who are huge fans of RPGs, then you'll be happy to know that Cyberpunk 2077 will be coming out sometime in the future. The question is, when will it come out? Because it's a game that's been teased. It's been announced back in May 2012. It's been teased since 2013, and since then, it seemed like it's always been getting pushed back, or it was never ready. Or CD Projekt Red, who are like the developers and publishers for the game, they have not come around to release the game just yet. Maybe it's not complete and it's still under development. But the game is expected to appear on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows sometime in the future. And the interesting thing about this game is that basically the setting takes place 57 years after the events of Cyberpunk 2020, which was a tabletop game that was released back in 1988. And basically, the interesting about this game is that players will be able to control a protagonist named V. And basically, the interesting about the main character that you choose, and this is where like the RPG elements and all the creativity comes in. Pretty much, there's like so many customizable options with this game in relation to how the character looks, what they wear. Their stats, strength, intelligence, how popular they are. Just so many stats that, and so many options that affect the main character's interaction with non-playable characters. And basically, as far as combat is concerned, the character will be able to do all kinds of things like climb walls, engage in close melee combat, and do all kinds of different things, use machinery in terms of guns and other weapons of sorts. And basically, one of the more interesting things about the game itself is pretty much the setting. The setting takes place in a mega city, which is known as the Free State of California. It's basically controlled by corporations. And basically, gang warfare seems like it's more rampant than it's ever been, or it's probably as rampant as it is right now. And the thing is, as far as, maintenance in the city is concerned, it's basically, populated with robots and machines that basically perform everyday functions such as waste collection, public transportation. So basically, labor jobs that you see like, the common man doing nowadays, they're all being taken over by machines, in the future. So but that's basically the story it's trying to tell. And basically that's the setting that players will find themselves in this game. Another interesting aspect about Cyberpunk 2077 are the branching dialogues, the experience points, obtained from main quests, and basically, the interactions that players have with various different types of non-playable characters throughout the game. It's basically... It's a very interesting RPG, and a lot of choices that the players make throughout the game will lead to different endings. So, this being said, looking at the setting kind of looks cool, and some people, say that it's, it's something that you would probably see in like a sci-fi, fantasy movie that basically, on one hand, is cool, but it's kind of scary because apparently, in this game, I guess if you become too much of a threat, or if gang violence becomes too chaotic, then basically a group, the armed force known as the Psycho Squad, could basically deal with such threats or uprisings or upheavals within the game. But as far as the release date for Cyberpunk 2077 is concerned, it's something that we're still not entirely sure about, but it's been rumored that will appear sometime later in the year, between September and December of 2019. And it would be perfect considering the fact that the year 2020 is basically starts next year, and having the game come out right before the year 2020 would definitely be a blast. It could actually end up becoming one of, if not the best RPG game of the 2020s decade. So as far as upcoming games are concerned, Cyberpunk 2077 is basically a title that everybody has been waiting to see since the start, or since the beginning of the teens decade. It's a game that hopefully will appear on the Xbox. Well, it will appear on the Xbox One, but it will hopefully appear on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows before 2020. And it would be a great way to start off the 2020s decade if this RPG game was released in the latter part of 2019.